So guys, today back from another video on the channel. Today we're here for a massive game for Newcastle United. It is Crystal Palace versus Newcastle at Selhurst Park. This game's been rescheduled. It's now on the Wednesday and Newcastle United have got a massive chance to pick up 3 points, but Palace are on some good form. Like I say, it's not going to be an easy game for Newcastle, but in the video today we'll look at Crystal Palace going into this game for Wednesday. We'll speak about Newcastle. Obviously Newcastle haven't played in 11 days. Crystal Palace got an unbelievable result on the weekend, so we'll go through everything in this video. Make sure to leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It would mean a lot if you could do so. I know there's not been many uploads recently. Obviously Newcastle haven't played and I've just been grinding pretty much on the non-YouTube stuff, so that's the reason why. Anyways lads, let's get on out and we'll start off by speaking about Crystal Palace. So then, Crystal Palace, I think the main speaking point of them as of late is their last 2 games before coming to this game against Newcastle. Going to Anfield and winning 1-0 is absolutely unbelievable for Crystal Palace. Since the start of the 2022-23 season, Liverpool lost once at home. Once in 2 seasons. And Crystal Palace were the second team to do it. Who was the other team? Let us know in the comments if you do know that. But Palace were unbelievable on that day defensively. I know Liverpool could have took their chances, but you've got to give credit to Crystal Palace because they were sensational. And then going against West Ham, honestly they've done us a favour in beating West Ham in the league table, but 5-2. They were 4-0 up at one stage, man. It was half time 4-1. Made it 5-1. They got an unlucky own goal at the end. I've actually not seen any of the highlights from the game. I've just literally seen the score, and then I think Eze scored an overhead kick. Apart from that, they look absolutely on fire. Looking at their team lineup, you've got Dean Henderson, Nathaniel Clyde Anderson, Richards, Munoz, Wharton, Hughes, Mitchell, Elise, Eze, Mateta. That's a good, strong team, that. I know they're playing a 5 at the back against West Ham. Probably do the same against Newcastle. Honestly, looking at their team, it probably will be the exact same team that plays against Newcastle. Palace has always been that type of team where if you've got your players fresh and you've got your players ready and your players are fit to play week in week out for Crystal Palace, you will do damage. Where if they get injuries and their second side of the squad isn't really that good or good enough to fill in the gaps, like when Elise was injured, when Eze's been injured, Mateta's done a fantastic job. He scored more goals this season than his last 3 seasons combined. That's telling you something. They're starting to get a bit of a core. Obviously there was a lot of stuff at the start of the season with Crystal Palace where they were feared of going down. Obviously we beat them 4-0. Obviously you got beat at Brighton and it just wasn't going well for Roy Hodgson, who returned to the club last season and kept them up and done a good job. It was got to the point where they needed something new. He stepped down, and honestly they're doing bits at the minute. You can happily say that. But even looking at their bench against West Ham, that's what I was speaking about before. It's the bench that is a struggle for them. When you look at players like Jordan Ayew still getting a game week in week out. Edward struggled a bit this season. Riedeveld, having struggled at Palace each full time. We've got Jeffrey Slupp, who's still playing in the Premier League at the age of 31, and that's really, obviously they've got Decorio's out for the season, they've got Lerma's out for the season, Gay's out as well. But the lads who came in for them have really stepped up and really done well. Considering they've got beat at Bournemouth and they beat at Man City, they've reacted really well. But in the course of the season, how the season's looking for them, 14th in the league, they are, they're 11 points above Luton. They should be fine with a game in hand on Luton Forest. So Palace are fine from the drop, and I feel like there's always been a stage of Palace where it's like they do good and they've got some star players, but they need to progress and they need to spend that little bit more money and progress into the squad and build a little bit more, because it feels like since Palace came into the Premier League in 2013-14, they've always been around 13th underneath, and they've had good players over the years. Don't get us wrong, they've had some really good periods and whatnot, but the stages where they're at now, where they've got Eze, they've got Elise, they've got to keep players like that if they want to build a squad. If they want to build players around them, then they can go on and do further things, but you've got to back the manager, you've got to back the squad, because if you don't, and you've got this type of bench where you've still got players like Joe Ward in the team, James Tompkins in the team, I know they're good good role models for the younger lads and stuff like that. Same quite with Newcastle. We need to get rid of the deadwood. I think Palace need to do the exact same thing, build on what they've got, and they could have a really good end to the season with some games. Who they've got there? They've got obviously us, Fulham, Man United, Wolves, Villa. It's not the worst run in the world. Obviously, some tough games in there. 3 of them games being at home. Selhurst Park's a tough place to go. They've got Man United at Selhurst Park, so hopefully they can do us a favour and beat Man United. But let's be well Newcastle then. So then, the two haven't played since that Tottenham game. It feels like ages ago since that Tottenham match. But on the weekend, obviously, our game against Man United got changed with the FA Cup semi-final. And we've had a bit of a rest switch. I think it's good, don't get us wrong, we've been on some really good form. Since returning from the international break, we beat West Ham, we drew to Everton, beat Fulham and beat Tottenham. Only real good performance in all of them was Tottenham, which was surprising considering every fan going into the game was a bit sceptical with obviously with the team news coming out, but we're doing really good at the minute, and it's a case of building, and players are coming back from injury. The lads who couldn't feature against Tottenham, you like Lewis Hall, Livramento, they've had 11 days to rest, and we'll have to wait and see. I'm recording this before Eddie Howe's press. I'm recording this on the Monday night, so this video is getting uploaded straight away as soon as I finish recording it. Then the predicted team will be out tomorrow, but that will be recorded before the press conference. I'm not sure about Lewis Hall, the likes of Livramento, if Trippier will be fit. Joe Linton's meant to be back very soon, so there's a lot of scepticals at the minute with Newcastle, but honestly I don't feel like much has really happened since that Tottenham game. We can speak more on that Tottenham game. It was a very good performance. We battered them in every department, but Newcastle have got 3 winnable games coming up in Crystal Palace, Sheffield United, Burnley. If we can pick up 9 points from there, it could be absolutely massive to our season, and considering the points that we've dropped earlier on in the season to Everton, Bournemouth, Luton, these wins are massive. And if we want to continue this top 6, I understand the injuries and stuff still are the case, but we've got a good core at the minute, and we've got to keep going, and that's the main thing. We've got to keep going. And a game like Palace, where at Selhurst Park we've over the years struggled to pick up a win, like just up on the top of my head. The last time I think Newcastle won at Selhurst Park was the 2020-21 season, 2-0 win. Wilson and Joe Linton scored very late on. I don't think we performed the best. Before then we've always struggled into even, normally it's a draw, normally it's a 1-1 or a 0-0 at Selhurst Park when Newcastle go there, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously it's still going to be an interesting game. Palace are in good form and they'll give Newcastle a bit, but I think with the way we're playing at the minute, it could go either way. I think both teams need the points. I think if Palace want to end the season good, so they can invest in players, they want to finish high enough to still go, I want to invest in Crystal Palace and look to the future. Newcastle have still got European football on their hands, and we've got big name players who still need to be at the club, so we need to keep building, keep these wins going, and have a really good end of the season. Obviously we've got, is it 5 games? 5 games left. That is crazy. 5 games left and we're still fighting for something. Can Newcastle United do it? It's going to be a tough one. I'm not going to give a prediction for the game. Newcastle United have got to pick up 3 points if we want to continue top 6, because obviously now top 7's out the window. I mean top 8's out the window, sorry. So if we get 8, it'll not get anything. 8 isn't out. 7's is conference. 6th, 5th Europa League. We'll have to wait and see what happens, boys. That's going to be another Crystal Palace preview, boys. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It would really lot if you could do so. Anyways, lads, I'll see you all for the predicting tomorrow and the game on Wednesday. Howie the lads. Newcastle, Newcastle.